Okay, so what I'm planning on doing today is compression test, along with changing out the spark plugs. That's it. So new spark plugs, but along the lines I'm going to check the compression of each cylinder. Alright, so let's get all this out on a tray. Nice. Okay, so what I have here is, so this is from the toolkit. My vehicle toolkit didn't come complete, but this was in here. So I may use this if I can't figure out how to do it with what I have, which is this spark plug socket along with extension and maybe some adjustable joints, or whatever they call those. So I have 8 spark plugs from 928 RS. I bought it from Roger. I believe they're pre-gapped, but nonetheless, I found the spec, and the spec, these aren't easy to find. I mean, so unless you have this sheet, that's great. You can find it easily, but it took me a while to find out. So this is for the 85 ROW Bosch spark plug. The gap is 0.7 millimeter plus 1, so I guess that's the range from 0.7 to 0.8. And what I have is right here, it's 0.7, 0.75 to 0.8. And then I got this thing. I didn't know these things existed, but it's a way to adjust the gap if it's out of tolerance. So I tested one of them last night, and I was reading online. There was some debate as to whether you needed to check the gap or not. Some people felt you didn't have to. Some people felt you should always do so. And it turns out this particular one, they're right in spec. This barely fits, the 0.8 barely fits, and a 0.7 fits. So this one's good. And I'm just going to go ahead and check the rest of them. Okay, so they all checked out. I did notice on the box here, it's kind of interesting. It does say 0.8 millimeter right there, 0.8. And then here's the part number if you want to know. Also, the torque is also correct. It says 28 newton meters. And on the spec sheet here for the spark plugs, it says 25 bis. I don't know what that means. Probably up to 25 to 30. So 28 is right in the middle. So that's correct also. So that is all good. Okay, so in order for the preparation for the compression test, I removed the fuel pump fuse. It's right there. So I already removed that. And then I wanted to disengage the ignition coil or distributor. So there's 2 banks, and there's one of them. I pulled it from here, right there, and that goes to the central distributor on this one side. And then the other one, if you follow it all the way back, it's this line right here, goes to this, and then it connects. It's hard to tell, but it connects into this right there, and this is the connection. It's a little bit corroded, so I'll probably clean that a little bit when I reinstall it. So that should prevent the spark when I turn it over for the compression test. Okay, so I'm gonna work on cylinder, I believe it's 5 first. So they're numbered from this bank. Sorry, this bank going forward is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to remove that right there, and then get to that first spark plug. Not sure if you can see that or not, but that came off of what I'm calling 8. I'm going to renumber these. Okay, so I buttoned everything up. I put the air box back on, the air temp sensor switch or connector, all the plugs. I relabeled these correctly. I connected the ignition to the distributor on both sides. This side, the one over here, where is it? Right over there, is kind of difficult. So if there's another way of disengaging the ignition, you probably want to use that. So I'm going to do a start, see if it starts, and hopefully there won't be any issues. Okay, so I'm done. These are my numbers. The lowest is cylinder 6 at 120, but I think I'm still within, I think it's supposed to be 15% or so. So I'm still okay, I believe, but barely. Anyway, so I'll note this. Today's date is what, 5/13 or something like that. Looking at the spark plugs, these are in the order of the like 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8. It looks lean, obviously. That was what I suspected. It's pretty dirty, but I was running lean on the vehicle until I got a new MAF, mass airflow, whatever. Oh, I think that's what it is, mass airflow. Also, the gap was, I'm going to say, slightly out of tolerance. It was a little bit larger than 0.8 millimeter, except for one of them. I think it was like 1 or 2, number 1 or number 2. Everything else was slightly larger than 0.8, so it was out of spec. These are also a Japanese brand. I don't know what brand this is, NGK. Anyways, I got a Bosch. Anyways, that's it. It was pretty straightforward, relatively easy. I didn't think, well, I was hoping it wouldn't be difficult because I thought I would have to take the air plenum off, which I didn't have to do. It's designed so that you don't have to do that. It's just kind of tight to get in there. And then to push the connectors back on top of the spark plugs is somewhat difficult. You actually need, I used a stick to actually press down on it hard. And some of them clicked in better than just hand pushing because you don't have a lot of leverage. Anyways, that's it.